Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Mia, and welcome back to the STEMspired podcast where real scientists, real stories, and real impact collide. And today's episode features none other than Dr. Chinamera Mobu, the vibrant mind behind at Science with Chi. And she's not just a PhD powerhouse, but she's a community builder who's bringing clarity and confidence to the STEM world. And we're going to talk about grad school highs and lows, redefining success beyond the lab bench, and how did she use her voice to shake up the way we think about who belongs in science. So whether you're chasing your degree or just need a reason to keep going, this episode is just for you. Thank you so much for deciding to be a part of the podcast. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Dr. Mayer. I'm happy to be here too.
Well, we have spoken quite a bit between now and the podcast, but our viewers, I would love for them to know a little bit more about you. So, can you introduce yourself both professionally and personally?
Okay, so my name is Chinamaram Obu, and I like to have the doctor title there, just like Dr. Mayer did. Just because I just got this PhD and people need to know.
Hmm.
Um, I graduated in May with a PhD from the University of Buffalo, and I started a postdoctoral position about a month ago, actually, at the Pacific Northwest National Lab out in Richland, Washington. What I'm doing currently is very related to what I did in my PhD. So it's an easy transition. And I'm excited about the position because I get to use what I already know and learn new techniques. It's a very collaborative environment. I highly recommend. So personally, I also just got engaged about 3 months ago. So there's a lot of good
Congrats.
things going on. I know. So um, you know, happy to have graduated, happy to be transitioning to this new phase of life, and I'm happy to talk about grad school and the experience.
Yes, so y'all see after the PhD, you can still be happy. Look how she's glowing, you guys. I'm so happy for you, and I know you're going to do wonderful things. So, with that being said, what inspired you to pursue a PhD, and why did you choose your specific field?
That's a great question. I didn't know that I was gonna pursue a PhD specifically. I just knew I wanted to get an advanced degree after my bachelor's, just because based on what I learned as an undergraduate, I knew there was more to learn. And so I set out to do this advanced degree, and I wanted to do it away from my home country because, again, new experiences, new perspectives. And so I learned that I can get a PhD with my BSc, and I didn't need a master's. And so I was very excited to transition again from a bachelor's degree to a PhD program here in the US. Why my field specifically? So I have a background in biochemistry, and I really like biochemistry because a lot of people don't like biochemistry.
I was just
And
about
it
to say,
was it was very easy for me. Maybe because I'm a by the book type of person, because if you understand the basics, it's very simple. So my PhD also started in biochemistry, and I'm still doing biochemistry related things right now.
so you guys know you can still love biochemistry, even if you start off not liking, well, you've always loved it. So
That's
that
true.
doesn't count. But I'm happy to hear that people can know this perspective of traveling from another country to starting a PhD in an entirely different environment. And I'm sure that was an adjustment, but it's so wonderful for people to see that despite those challenges that you can still overcome them and finish strong. So, how has your mindset shifted from your first year of your PhD to now exploring your career as a new PhD trained scientist?
I like that question. I can't tell if that's my favorite out of all the questions you sent me, but I think that when I first started graduate school, I came in with the mindset that I have to learn everything. Like sometimes we start with the big goal. I want to cure cancer or I want to do something really big. But as I progress through grad school and currently as a scientist, I've come to understand that you don't have to know everything. You just need to be a pro in one part of a big process, and you can make a really large difference. And so currently, I have a large team sort of where I work, and I honestly just need to be a pro at what I do. And we're just the small moving parts that come together to make a big goal happen. So I think my biggest mindset change is you need you need to master one skill, and collaboration is important because you need a lot of people to make a goal come true.
That's so true. Collaboration is everything, even during grad school, after grad school,
Exactly.
even, even once if you're not doing a hard bench lab science after grad school, you're still collaborating with others throughout the rest of your career. So that's a great point that you mentioned. And I know grad school, it is its own bear itself, and you go through many different things and experience multiple things while you're in the program. So, what was one of your hardest moments in grad school, and how did you overcome it?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think all the questions are great. Okay. I have to think about this one a little because there's a lot of hard moments in grad school. And if you have to call one the hardest, it must have hit you too hard that, you know, something has to change. But for me, when I say one of the hardest moments for me was realizing that I couldn't work very well with my first PI. And I think a lot of people do not talk about how a lot of grad students switch PIs in their programs, causing them to
Mm-hmm.
lose time or even just making them drop out of the program completely.
Mm-hmm.
So that realization was even harder because as an international student, you can't just say, oh, I'll just drop out and go back home. I mean, some people do it, but I wasn't willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, one way to overcome it, or one way that I overcame it was looking for other people to work with. And my program was really good because they allowed us to do a rotation when we first joined. And so I went back to some of the professors that I rotated with and was like, this is the state of my life right now. Are you willing to take me back in your lab? Even though I didn't join the first time. And I was fortunate enough to get
Mm-hmm.
back into the lab of one of them, and it worked really well.
That's so insightful. And thank you for sharing that, by the way. I'm sure that wasn't easy to share. But it's good for others to see that they're not alone when things end up shifting in their PhD journey. And
Exactly.
like you said, it's people do not talk about enough. Like sometimes things happen that you don't expect. Like people have had PRs that leave and go to the other different, go to another institution and then they're floating around trying to figure it out. But determination is what you had to get through that process. And, you look deep within yourself to find out your why and kept trying even though things weren't going as planned. So
That's
that takes
right.
a lot of strength.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so now you've kind of shared a little bit about your challenges and you redefine yourself. You made connections, you did what you needed to do to succeed. So how do you define success in academia beyond grades or publications?
I think success for me is looking at my current state of knowledge, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think about my first year in grad school and how much I had no idea what was going on. Um, versus now where I can just listen to someone talk and like even if I don't get it, I know where to go to find the information and it's
Mm-hmm.
easier to gain that knowledge. So for me, it's that ease of learning. And I think we're all gonna constantly learn because there's a lot that we don't know. So for me, I feel successful when I'm able to take something, whether I know it or not, and make it better just because of the knowledge that I have.
That's a big one. And that highlights how not only are we experts in a certain skill, but we're experts in knowing how to learn. We're constantly learning new things. So the biggest thing I say about a PhD is you have to love learning. You have
Exactly.
to really love learning. And like you said, when you start out, I also transitioned straight out of undergrad into a PhD. So it was a lot. It was like, I think I need to crack open a dictionary because what?
You have to look up every word and ask them, what is this? And occasionally you're like, am I asking too much questions?
Hmm.
So, and some people don't like when you ask too much because they expect you to know some things. And so that could make you just not ask enough questions or not know where to begin because you're like clueless at that point.
Yeah, and the biggest thing we had to do is not be afraid to ask questions and really, in a sense, not really care what anybody has to say about the
Thanks.
fact that we have questions because even the people above us, hierarchy wise, in that point in time, they had questions about things they didn't know. So we're all
Exactly.
learning. That's the way I had to reframe my thoughts, at least at that time. So now that you have earned your PhD, I know you've transitioned to a new phase of your career, but long term wise, like what are your professional goals and where do you see yourself within the next 5 years or so?
I would definitely like to keep doing research because I enjoy researching and just that process of finding things out. Um, I was gonna say, unfortunately, I do not like writing grants. So I don't see myself as a PI, but I'm open to working in positions where I can do research. I'd have other people get the money and just let me do the research and worry about troubleshooting and all that. That's always great for me. I do quite enjoy teaching. I'm still considering either just being an adjunct somewhere or occasionally having to go out of my way to teach people things because I enjoy transferring that knowledge because it helps me realize how much I know or how much I don't know.
Yeah, and it gives us a chance to pour back into those that are coming into this journey and they want to pursue these paths. I'll let you know how being an adjunct faculty member is because I start in the next couple of weeks. So I'll be able to
Okay,
update you on that one.
sounds good. I'll be waiting for that.
Yes, and we met through Instagram and us following each other, and I have seen how much you've grown. Like, I know we haven't been following each other for like 2 years or something. It's been about a year, but
Yeah.
it resonated with me seeing people, two Black women that are really inspiring and grinding it out to make it possible for others to go on this path that we're going. So I've been impacted by seeing you, but what impact do you hope to leave on those who follow your platform?
Oh, okay. Um, I think for people who follow my platform, like even if they don't take anything else from all the jokes I make or whatever I post on there, they should take away the fact that you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. I started posting things about grad school on Instagram after I left my first lab because I needed a way to, I don't know, keep my mind away from the troubles of the lab. So, humor is sometimes a way that people deal with pain. And so
Laugh to keep from crying.
I know. And so I would come on there and see some people making posts that resonated really well with me, but only a few people got it because if you haven't experienced it, it wouldn't make that much sense to you.
Mm.
But apart from the pain, there is also some things to learn because occasionally there are just random science facts or things that people put up there that can help your experiments and other things. So basically, you can do whatever you set your mind to.
Absolutely. I love seeing people in the lab showing how they're getting in there and doing the work and inspiring others. So I have been inspired by you, of course, and I'm sure others are inspired. But what advice do you have for students who come from underrepresented backgrounds, especially international students who are going through an entirely different experience? What advice do you have to people who can resonate with that?
It can feel very lonely, just because you have no one to look up to or even people to just ask questions, right? And sometimes you see people that you can ask questions, but they feel so far away, and you're wondering if I can even reach out to these people. I would say err on the side of reaching out and not getting a response versus keeping to yourself. And the worst that can happen is you get no response. But on the bright side, this person can get back to you and make your life so much easier. Ask questions. You have no idea how much time you'll save just because you ask someone a question versus trying to figure it all out by yourself. Um, you know, don't believe the naysayers, people who say you can't do it. They don't know you, they don't know where you're coming from, they don't know where you're going. So stand your ground, even if you fall, get up, dust yourself, keep going. It might be slow, but you're gonna get there, slow and steady. Um, you know, just don't be afraid to go out of your way to get what you want, as long as you're not breaking any rules. So,
Right?
yeah, I think it's just about mainly believing in yourself and going to get it. Most times we're our biggest critics because you think you're not enough. You think you're here just to fill in the diversity slots, but I don't think that's the case. Because if you weren't qualified in the first place, you wouldn't be here.
Mm, that's a big one right there. And we all need to know that, especially right now, that we are here because we are destined to be here and
Exactly.
we are intelligent. And if we didn't have the qualifications, they wouldn't have let us in. So,
Yes.
like you said, is being able to sit in taking our power back, you know?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Just no, don't let them get to your head.
It's a mind game. I tell you,
Uh-huh.
it's a mind game for sure. So I learned so much from you, and I'm sure our viewers have learned a lot from you, from your wisdom. You dropped some wonderful gems today. So how can our scholars connect with you to hear more advice from you and follow your journey?
I'm on Instagram at Science with Chi. Just changed that recently. Um, the plan or the hope is to be able to, share science-based things or burst myths about what people believe that isn't really true. Also on LinkedIn at Chinamaram Pascaline Obu, or just Chinamaram Obu. You would find me if you look up my first name. Um, I think those are the two platforms I use, and feel free to send me a message, but say more than just hi so that I know what I'm replying to. Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Chinamaram Obu. She didn't just drop gems today. She gave us the blueprint for showing up boldly in STEM and in life. If this conversation hit home, go follow her like she asked. I'll drop her Instagram in the comments. Tap into the community she's building. And if you loved what you heard, make sure that you tag us, remain watching our podcast. We're building a movement, and we're not just doing this to as a podcast. We're doing this to help people remain inspired. So until next time, you guys, stay curious, stay confident, and always stay inspired.